Hello, Texas Tech. My name is Thomas Ayers, and I am a graduating senior. And this is my senior thesis for INTS 4350 with Dr. Childers. The title is How Can Employee Leadership Be Attained by Implementing Financial Education in the Workforce? This topic really came to me because the company that I've been interning with for the past couple of years, or I guess for about a year and a half now, just off and on, they've came out and they've made me an offer, and before I accepted it, I was looking at the pay and the benefits. Well, I noticed that in 2008, doing some research, that our company had about 6 employees. Well, to this day, 2014, we have about 65 employees, and so that growth is, it's been substantial. It's quite a bit, and next year we're predicted to have 95 employees. Well, since 2005, the investment and retirement benefits, they haven't really changed, and the way the company was set up is if you work with the company for 5 years, they'll give you $5,000 to invest into a 401k. I have a discipline in personal financial planning, and I know that there are better ways to advance your retirement savings as well as your career. So that got me thinking, what kind of interdisciplinary problem am I going to use using my disciplines? Well, I have a discipline in personal financial planning, as well as human resource development and organizational leadership. Excuse me. So I figured that using all 3 of those disciplines, I could come up with a reason to use a disciplinary approach and to solve a complex problem based off of 401k and investments. And that's basically what my research is all about. So identifying relevant disciplines for this, I identified 4, but I only used 3. I identified strategic management, personal financial planning, human resource development, and organizational leadership. And like I said, I used the last 3. I did not use strategic management. I believe that using strategic management is further out in the process, and that as of right now, with these 3 disciplines, we can conduct research and we can put a whole program together, and this really gives me the insight that I need for this complex problem. The overall complex problem for this is let me backtrack here a little bit. My senior thesis topic, I will be using my 3 concentration: human resource development, organizational leadership, and personal financial planning, to research the effects of employee training with financial education when programs are implemented in the workforce, to see if this better establishes leadership amongst employees. That's a mouthful, but this is an interdisciplinary approach using Repko's 12-step process. So I conducted a literature search, and this was basically in my disciplines. Where in my disciplines am I finding research? How am I looking at it? So on and so forth. So to start out with, the discipline of organizational leadership will be used to determine if these programs have adequately affected employees to motivate better leadership amongst employees. And according to some research by DeCesno in 2007, behavior modifications tend to be effects on employees' financial education training and how to influence leadership. Kind of right there. Excuse me. Finally, discipline of personal financial planning will show us how companies that invest in their employees' financial education could lead to better decision making in the workforce, producing better leaders. Financial planning is going to basically give us the idea of looking at 401k, mutual funds, IRAs, stocks and bonds investing, real estate, any kind of investing, and it's basically going to help us look at it. Programs used to educate and improve financial responsibility, according to Madison and Wilson in the year 2000, allow employees to have knowledge, abilities, and skill set to manage their own financial responsibility as informed consumers. This isn't just giving somebody a job. This is basically giving somebody the ability to be an informed consumer. There's not a lot of people out there that are informed consumers, I can tell you that much. HR is basically going to be my discipline that it's going to rely on the actual business itself that's setting up the training programs, implementing them, designing them, evaluating them. HR is basically the backbone of this, so that's kind of the reason why I wanted to use that. Like I said, my relevant disciplines: human resource, personal and financial planning, organizational leadership. Analyzing the problem, basically this is going to be all my sources. I think I have 10 or 11 of them, but they're all really good. Some of them are really old, but just trust me, I know they're 18 years old, but in 1996, they were connoisseurs. You know, they started everything. And what I mean by that is, one of my sources, is Garmin, Grable, and Leach, and it was in 1996. And this basically was this company looked at the cost of employee productivity, low employee productivity at that. And it's primarily due to poor financial behaviors. Employees are increasingly likely to help their employees deal with financial problems for a very good reason. It increases job productivity, it reduces costs, and it makes employees happier. Now, I have a lot of research that, suggests the same thing. But then again, I have a lot of research that says when you implement for personal financial programs in the workforce, it does nothing. Some employees only maybe 30 to 40% out of 80% of the users in your company that are taking advantage of this are actually transferring their training. And it's really hard to evaluate, because when you're only evaluating on who's using company-wide 401ks, well, yeah, at that point in time, you can see who's all doing it and everything like that. But when you don't actually have a sense of a person's portfolio or their investments, or if they're in the red and they're not in the black, it's a lot harder to evaluate other things outside of just a company-based 401k. So that leads me to the conflicts. A lot of employees are not motivated to come to work and then learn about financial education. That's double duty, and that's not really something that they want to do. And also, if they're not taking advantage of it and they're not being motivated to go out and join these programs, then the company's just losing money at that point in time, and probably should just shut it down. Not the company, the program. Creating common ground. This is basically, allowing us to look at some of the this pretty much looking at the bigger picture. Repco talks about theory extension, and so that's what I hit on. And basically, this is extending personal financial planning, HR, and organizational leadership to a point to where everybody can utilize this information. If you're not in HR, you still understand that you're going to be evaluated. If you have no idea what a 401k is, you understand that there's going to be tools here that I have to seek, that I can learn from, that I'm going to be forced to learn from, because I'm going to be in this 401k. Let's see. Step 9 is really where it all comes together. This is a comprehensive understanding. And I don't have enough time to read to you all of Step 9 and my conclusion, which I would really like to. But let me just hit on some few things here. Even though that there are a lot of evaluations that say employees aren't taking advantage of these, that's not true, because Fox and Bartholomew in 2005 showed us that with proper education training, employees become better with decision makings and have reflected better attitudes and leadership in the workforce. And that's key. And it's all based on employee evaluations. If you set up the training and you are implementing this education process for your employees, and you are evaluating them every single step of the way, you are going to know where you need to improve, where the employees need to improve. You got to establish that baseline, but once you do, you can see where you're at and how you can get here. And that's really what this is all about. And why are employees wanting to do this? Well, businesses are constantly looking for ways to improve their leadership and employee morale, and one way of doing so is to give the advantage of sound money practices to the employee. And that's all I have for you in this video. I really hope that you read my paper. There's so much more in it that I would like to share with you. Thank you guys. Y'all have a great day.